All right. All right. Okay. Welcome everybody to the Slant RBC Clearing Custody launch webinar. We're thrilled to have you all here. It should be a great time. So happy to have Marlon with us here as well from the RBC team. We'll dive in. I have an intro slide to kind of go through agenda, and then yeah, we'll get started there. So let me just share my screen, and we'll be running. Great. So just welcome RBC Clearing Custody members. We're excited to introduce Slant to you all. A brief agenda. Welcome here. For those who are new to this platform, you can jump in with questions. You can raise a hand if you have anything you want to ask. We have live Q&A, so we're here to help with those things. And then we're going to hand it off to Marlon to do a little bit of why RBC has chosen to work with Slant and put us in the RBC Clearing and Custody Marketplace. And then I'll jump in with a overview and demo, and then we'll take questions and jump in anything there. So I'll turn the time over a little bit to Marlon.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. So, yes, I am the Principal Technology Product Manager here at RBC Clearing and Custody. I have been working with the marketplace and owning the marketplace as a product for about 10 years now. And since doing that, we've brought on many marketplace solutions, um, everything from CRMs to financial planning software. And many of them have been adding um, AI components over the years, but this is sort of the first now that we're adding where the system actually is built with AI as a purpose. It is sort of ingrained in the system itself. And it's the sort of the first CRM that I've seen that is doing this on the market. So when we saw this back in November at the AI Insight conference, I met Thomas and he gave me a great demo of this tool. And I thought, man, would be great for our firms. So we brought them on to the marketplace and we're excited to announce that we do have a discount that we can offer you. And maybe Thomas will talk on that a little bit at the end of the demo here. But just wanted to kind of just say that, Slant is one of the fastest growing CRMs. And we're seeing a lot of transition from, the two bigger partners, Wealthbox and Redtail to Slant. And so with that, we wanted to kind of make sure that we had our pulse on that market. And, one of the things that we're currently incorporating with this, not just the marketplace integration, but we are also integrating our custodial data files with Slant as well. So that data will be flowing in, and from the emails that I've seen today, that data is already being sent. So I'll kick
Awesome.
it over to you, Thomas.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marlon. That was great. And yeah, we're thrilled the data's been flowing in. So we'll show many of the features here, but one of the exciting ones is you can, as a RBC Clearing Custody Advisor, see your all your transaction data every day in the CRM, like active balances, all those things. So we'll jump in here. I'll go with slides at the beginning here, just as a good way to list out all the features. There's a lot. And so try to make those digestible. And then at the end, I'll do a brief live demo of a couple of those features so people can see them in action. But we call ourselves an AI native CRM. What does that mean is a great question. AI native, I would say, as Marlon described, it's not bolting on, oh, we can append ChatGPT and it can parse something. We're built with AI from the ground up. So when you come into a record here, I think a really big thing you can do is you obviously are met with, you can see emails of the people, any meetings, tasks, notes, you name it, and you're welcomed with a chat. We highlighted here on the right just an example. All of this here is dummy data, but a good example of seeing the portfolio in action. So with that RBC data, you'd be able to see, great, what positions do they have? Where are those located? What were transactions that happened yesterday? So maybe you're in there and there's a task to, move money for a client. You can go look and say, oh, we moved it yesterday. Good to know. Let me mark it off or follow up with the appropriate team member. But getting that RBC custodian data in nightly is a massive win. Now, a big feature and big AI native functionality here in the CRM is not just, oh, it's all in one place, but that you can interface with it in a modern way. So I'm sure many of you have used ChatGPT or any of the AI model companies. A big example of this and powerful example is now inside of Slant, you can chat with your client data. You could be in a household and chat specific questions. You could be in the whole book of business and say, hey, last week I met with someone and they mentioned, they had a sick family member or their parent was, in the hospital. Who was that? You could find the person. Or, hey, who's everyone with exposure to Tesla? I want to talk to them about SpaceX or whatever the conversation ends up needing to be. But here are examples. What did we talk about in our last meeting? What are some life events coming up? Again, no more just clicking through a big activity feed or scrolling for days. You can now jump in and chat with your data. One of those big data points is the note taker. So many advisors have adopted note takers in the past few years. It's been a big productivity boom. It comes into the meeting, transcribes it, and a big feature of those tools was integrating with the CRM. It was really essential to have a good experience, and we think that was a great sign that it belongs inside the CRM. So, like many things we're going to talk about today, our hope is that if Slant's the right choice for you, that Slant is a place where you can consolidate your tools. So instead of just I need this and I have to add on this and add on this, we can say, great, your note taker, your CRM, your data enrichment, and more. Let's put it all in one place. So this is a meeting bot. It joins the meeting, it transcribes the notes, it does all of those key features. So this is I think a really big win for advisors, and you can come into those meetings and chat with it, understand the agenda, you name it. Now, one of the big meetings advisors always have is the annual review or the client review. It's regulated, it's very important. It's a great way to know what clients you're on top of. And client reviews are native to Slant. So we know many advisors have a big spreadsheet somewhere that's when did I last meet with this family? And they're always nervous, kind of in the back of their mind, like, okay, who have I not met with in a while? Because that's a big part of their job. And so we've made reviews native to Slant. So you can see in here, when's the last time I met with someone? How long ago was that? Who have I not met with in a few months? And from those, you can trigger automations. AI automations in Slant, if any of you use Zapier or something similar to that, an AI automation is a place where you can say, if this happens, then this happens. And a good example there is this annual review. So, hey, if I haven't met with a client in over 6 months, do some research on what our last meeting was about, draft an email to get, for me to send to them and make a task to get them scheduled. So something like that suddenly is happening on autopilot, and the advisor can be very in front of and on top of it, which is great. Another big AI functionality piece and something we always like to dive into is data enrichment. So there's so much data out there now. No advisor has time to just live on LinkedIn or read the local paper anymore, scan for job updates, but they're important moments in your client relationship. And so we've tried to work with public available data sources to enrich data that we can find. So if they're a client, we want to notify you that they've maybe switched a job or something has changed. If they have a family member, maybe a child or a sibling who you have in your book, you can understand, hey, this is things going on in their life, so you can have really good proactive touch points. The example here on the top right is a promotion. So it scanned on LinkedIn, it found the client was promoted. You can send them a message, hey, congrats. If you have any questions, let me know. Or hey, there's a new child has a job, or even a family parent has passed away. All these things are excellent moments for you to reach out and mostly to be a great person, right? If a family member or if a client has something going on in their life and you want to be kind of first in line to help them, we want to give you that opportunity as an advisor using Slant. One more example of data enriching, and probably one of the most powerful, is any prospects. So let's say you get a referral from a friend, you're using the tool, you name it. We want you to be able to know who they are. So we'll look up who they are on LinkedIn, find any public available data on, if they own a home, if they have any information like that, just so you can have a better conversation with them. So we use public available data sources for that as well. But it's another powerful use case of Slant. Again, you shouldn't need to add another third-party tool to get data enrichment and to get a note taker and to do project management. All those things we see as valuable and important and native to Slant. And another big one that we wanted to highlight, we know the back office is where all the real work gets done at the advisory firm. And so we want to make sure there are tools in here that help the back office team. So not only can you chat with the record, but a big example here is you can fill out, maybe there's some account opening paperwork or a PDF you need, or whatever the use case may be of kind of filling out paperwork. if the data is inside Slant, you can drag the PDF in and have it fill. So the example here on the right, this is just a example of a account opening form, but it would ask you the account type, it would ask for names, it would pull the addresses, and it would fill it in on the right and then fill in the document. So we're looking for efficiencies at any point in the client journey to the make Slant better. And a big one of those is great. There's always paperwork to do, and the data is living inside Slant already. And that's kind of the promise of an AI native CRM, right? It shouldn't just be, well, it's a little easier to click on or nicer to use. We do love those things, but can it fill in information? Can it find necessary information? When you finish how would I describe it? Like when you finish an annual review meeting or a client meeting, can those fields update inside the CRM? Can those updated fields fill in a PDF? The thinking there is what gets really powerful. So with all that in mind, um, I'm going to share a couple just customer stories, successes, people who have had great experience with Slant, things they've said, and then I'll jump into a live demo of a couple of those features. This is the North Star Investment Team, great group. And I love the line they said here. With Slant, they focus more on the client and building the relationship. It almost feels like you have an assistant for your business. We love the comparison of an assistant and when they can focus more on the impactful work. I think a lot of people associate CRM with busy work and frustration and why isn't this doing what I want? We want it to be a place where the data lives, where you can do your job, but also what really helps you get more done. Another example is the Boyer financial team. They just said, it gives them real-time clarity, context, and more capacity to do what they need so they can stay proactive, be present, and really deepen the relationship. Again, we love our company motto is relationships matter. It's really important to us, and we think great advisors want to lean into that principle as well. And then this is Sonoma Wealth Advisors, another great firm. Their advice to everyone is, for firms looking to scale and stay forward thinking, Slant is the CRM that makes the most sense. Uh, I would just say to this, there's a technological shift underway that everyone is feeling, and everyone knows it's going to do a lot of things. And so partnering with the right AI vendors and the right core systems of record for your business is essential. So we wanted to outline those examples here of some people having a great experience with Slant. I'll stop sharing for a second, get my demo screen ready, and jump in with that. All right, everyone here, hopefully seeing the Ryan household. This is this household here. So an example here, I just wanted to show what the chat can look like. Again, this is example data, but you can jump in and an advisor, instead of scrolling through, let me read every email or look at all the meetings and summarize all the tasks and the notes. You can jump in there and have a great experience of just asking a question. So I'm going to say, what are some interesting facts about math? And it should go in and scour all the things it can find. So, hey, these aren't just CRM fields. These are things like he's a USC fan. He likes to drink Diet Coke. He likes to golf. There's some retirement planning questions about the Secure Act. Here's where the kids are going to school. And, here's the email on file. Okay, great. A bunch of valuable information that I can dive into. And then I can do things like, okay, with this information, you know, I could ask it to make a task, get anything done. So I'm going to say draft an email to check in. So it can draft this email. It's going to use my email language. It's looking at how I've sent emails for the past many days. And if I click send in here, it would easily draft it and send it right in my Outlook folder. So there's no new systems. We're just connecting to the things. So, checking how they're doing. Hope the kids and family are doing well. Some golf, Diet Coke in the summer weather. Great. It was relevant to his interests. It talked about things. Maybe I want AI to come in here and make it a little longer or shorter or whatever you have there. And then I can jump inside, and this one takes a while, so I'll just show a run of it I did earlier. Then I could say, generate a PDF of a up-to-date financial plan. It even dealt with my misspellings. And it's going to search all the files, look at meetings, look at notes, look at tasks, and generate this document. This is a new feature inside Slant, but a really valuable one. I can preview it here, right? And It's branded to them. It looks good. It's going to have a summary. It's based on all the information it has inside Slant. And if I did this after a planning meeting or after maybe a first call, I could say, hey, make a recap of that meeting, and it would try to brand it right in your style and way. But it's a very valuable resource in terms of showing what exactly Slant can do. So I wanted to give that example inside the client chat. Chat is just a very, very powerful way to do work inside Slant. The next phase of Slant that I want to show is just some powerful automations. So we talked about these briefly in the demo slides. I'll start fresh here with a new one. This is when firms right now want to automate more than ever and get more done, and we want to enable that. So no need for third parties or other systems to get in the way here. We want it to be native inside Slant. So hey, a client's birthday is coming up. What do you want to do? Maybe you've always sent a card. Maybe you've always done, a task. You've called them, whatever it may be. You could set the trigger as a birthday. Or when we add a tag, I want to do these things. When a meeting gets scheduled on my calendar, I want to send them an email to give them the address to the building if I've never met with them. There's a million things that could be here. I'll do one, like an example of, hey, someone was a prospect and now they're a client. It's a really common example. Because of that, I want to start a project and I want to start the account opening project or new client onboarding, right? And then from there, I want to make sure that, I want to send an email maybe to the team or to a member of that household. And then I want to do some, let's say, AI research on why did they become a client? And I could draft a message that you send internally, you name it. But that's just one example of a valuable automation. So instead of they became a client, go click on this, go draft this email, do these things. Those can just happen in sequential order, which is a big win. Again, the amount of triggers here is pretty vast, but powerful to say the least. So those are the core features there. Let me just adjust these little windows in Zoom and I can keep the flow going. But I wanted to show some a bit of the live demo there with you all. So a few things I want to touch on as kind of a last step on those is some information on pricing. Marlon brought this up. We've negotiated a discount with RBC Advisors that we're thrilled to offer. So that can be available as a 20% discount for the list price of Slant. So feel free to reach out. You should be hearing from some Slant team members, maybe from the RBC custody and clearing team as well. If you have any questions, either of those groups are great to reach out to. I've met with the RBC group. I think they're world class at what they do, and we're bringing great people on our team as well to help through that process. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. There's a link here. Some other things that are worth talking through is migration. So what does a migration look like and things like that? We've seen many. Marlon mentioned there's a lot of incumbents in the space, particularly Redtail, Wealthbox are ones we hear often. We migrate from those regularly. So with all that in mind, I'm going to jump to Q&A. I saw a few questions come in, so we'll triage those. Hayden here is with me to help get these through. So I got the list right here. Some of them are coming through. So yeah, pricing on the platform. I just talked about that there, but want to clarify. So our typical price is $150 per user per month. With RBC, there's that 20% discount. So that comes to $120 per user per month. Usually that's a cost savings, pretty drastic when you have note taker and CRM. If you're using just CRM, it's a slight premium, but yeah, $120 per user per month. Another one that we have coming through is just a group who said they moved recently to Redtail and wants to know what migrating was like. They had just migrated to Redtail, it looks like. For you, hopefully that migration was smooth. We know that for many people, it's a challenging thing to migrate CRMs. We move people from Redtail every day. All that said, I think it's a new system, right? So people want to understand what exactly they are. How would I describe it? They want to you want everything to come in and it all does. There's some navigating of a new system there, but overall it's a process we do very regularly. Your data can be handled safely. The team always gives me a hard time. Advisors love the word fiduciary, and we would call ourselves the data fiduciary, right? It's your data. We're responsible for it in this time. We want to keep it safe. We want you to have access to it. We want you to use it well. And so that's our job to make sure the migration goes smooth. We have a whole team dedicated to onboarding and support. So it's not old school software where we hand you the CD-ROM in the box and say, figure it out. We're here with you and easy to do. So I think that's a great question there. Some other ones that have come through, I'm back in the module here, which is great, um, is people have brought up, hey, the LLM safety is a bit of a concern. Like, what is the big question with how is my data safely entered into an LLM? Great question. We use large language models at Slant, but our job, again, as the data fiduciary, I think is a good word, is to make sure client data never hits the model. And beyond that, we have enterprise agreements with the models. So there's no training or retention on those agreements. But we've gone a step beyond that and said, great, if there's something like a social security number, a bank account number, anything very valuable you'd store in the CRM about your client, it's our commitment to never pass that to the model. So we are constantly redacting that information, tokenizing it, making sure that you can have an interface where you can safely upload a tax return or an estate plan or anything of that nature and interact with it inside Slant, but know that you're not sending that valuable client data to the model. I'm seeing another question here in the chat from about integrating with Wealthbox and how that works. So uh, integrate is probably not the right word. We would often replace the Wealthbox instance. That being said, Wealthbox is the CRM we replace most often. So for an advisor using Wealthbox, you can dig in and look and say, okay, maybe there's some things here you've been wanting to do or things you've needed. Feel free to ask our team, but we migrate people from Wealthbox every day. We did well over 10 just last week. So there's a very intense growth with the Wealthbox group. But all the benefits of being partnered closely with RBC here is now we can that all that RBC custodian data funnels in. You have the pre-negotiated discount. If you were using, maybe you added on a note taker or something else, we want to consolidate all of that there. But yeah, your Wealthbox data should come in very seamlessly, honestly, and then it would be learning the new system. Hopefully that answers the question. Great. And those are the ones that I've seen. This was phenomenal. Thanks everyone for tuning in. There'll be a recording of this given to the RBC custody and clearing team that I believe will get posted on the marketplace. Marlon, is that right?
Correct. Correct.
Great.
It'll be in Marketplace and we'll also post it on Nexus, our internal site as well. So
Great. So it'll be available there. Okay, great. Migrate was what you meant. That's perfect. So yeah, we migrate Wealthbox very regularly. And then we have we'll be if you see our team at trade shows or anyone reaches out, feel free to ask us questions. My email itself is just thomas@slant.app. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. And thank you so much, everyone, for attending.
thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks, Marlon. Hidden anything to end there? Good. Okay.